A long week, but it's going to get a little bit trickier. Canada Post workers, as we were just telling everybody, are on strike. Mail operations are shut down. This is after workers and Canada Post were unable to reach a negotiated agreement. So joining us this morning is the president of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, Jan Simpson. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Thank you for having me today.
So the strike is just a few hours old. So can you clear things up for us? What is and is not operating right now? Can Canadians deliver mail and packages?
Right now, there's a nationwide strike, so nothing is being delivered right now.
And what about offices in rural places in Canada? Are they shut down? Are they still operational in some point?
Well, anywhere where CPW members are working, we're not delivering the mail today. So if it's a different CPA office, that might be working, but our members are on a nationwide strike right now.
So if I have a parcel to deliver or anything to bring, don't bother bringing it to the post office?
Well, not today, at least.
Okay. What were the main sticking points, Jan, in the contract negotiations? Why couldn't you come to an agreement?
Well, for us, it's fair wages, it's to improve our health and safety, as well as to be able to retire with dignity and expansion of services at the public post office. Those are the key issues that were on the table, and we've had little movement to get to where we can agree on these issues.
Digging into that a little bit further, your union is asking for a compounded wage increase of 24% spread over 4 years. That demand comes as Canada Post says they're grappling with a major revenue shortfall, having lost $3 billion since 2018. Why is it important that these demands are met despite the shortfall from your employer?
Well, Canada Post, has before bargaining, these were called a strategic investment in the company to make it competitive against other logistics companies. Workers have fallen behind at Canada Post from 2011 when Stephen Harper imposed very low wages increases on us, and workers have fallen behind. We've taken wage increases below inflation for the past few rounds of bargaining, and during the COVID pandemic, our members were out there delivering the mail, and we actually had what was called a renewal with Canada Post to help them get through the pandemic time. So now it's time, and they told us after the pandemic, they would ensure that workers were able to catch up, and this is the time right now.
You mentioned 2011, and back to work legislation was tabled in response to Canada Post strikes, both in 2018 and 2011. Ottawa recently, as you would know, intervened to order striking port workers back on the job in Montreal and out in Vancouver. So given that we are approaching the holiday season, how are you preparing for potential government intervention this time?
Well, for us, we're at the bargaining table. We'll be there today again. So for us, the best way to get a good contract in place is by a negotiated contract. And we know that's the best one that's possible. Whenever you go to arbitration, issues still remain on the table after the arbitration. Like this is what's happening now with Canada Post. Canada Post wants to gut our collective agreements and to fix everything that's wrong within the agreement, in their opinion, for future workers, for current workers, and for retirees as well. So for us, we're going to go to the bargaining table again today to try to negotiate contracts.
Do you think government intervention could help with this?
For me, again, and for you've seen across the country for other unions as well, we need to bargain at the table and not have employers sitting back and waiting for government intervention. The best way to get to a collective agreement is through a negotiated contract with both sides come to the table and bring their experts and negotiate good contracts.
What do you say to Canadians who are frustrated that they have parcels they're ready to deliver and they're worried about the holiday season?
I would say to them, we began bargaining exactly 1 year ago today. We tried to negotiate contracts, but we're at an impasse, and we're doing our best to fight for your post office and for our work. And I want the taxpayers to know that, taxpayers' dollars do not pay the wages of postal workers, but we are actually taxpayers within the community, and we're trying our best to get back to work. But we have to ensure that the key issues are fixed for workers, but also that we help Canada Post grow their business.
Jan, last question. How long will this strike last? How long will service be shut down?
We're trying our best, so if we can negotiate a contract, a tentative agreement today, we'll see what would happen. But Canada Post has also changed the working conditions for our workers. So for us, we have to go to the table to ensure that we negotiate good contracts. And once that happens, we'll be able to vote on the tentative agreement, and we'll be back to work as soon as possible.
Thanks for joining us this morning, Jan Simpson.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a great rest of your day.
If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.